Hello and welcome back to Scribes and Men. We are now on to volume 46 on my mad dash to hit volume 50 and then further on to continue the journey into reaching 10,000 poems before November 26th, this November of this year. So let's get into it, shall we? Also, did you know that I have read more poems than any other poet out loud currently alive? Probably. Because I don't know of any other poet out there who has read more than 4,000 poems. With that being said, cold ink upon the skin, given in its sparkling glory, a feeling that could almost be a sin held by an abstract story. Answer of a rhythm behind the eyes of a smile, given to questions with elegant style, presented to ponder the words within, with no context given to allow confusion to begin. Crashing waves knocking at the door, as the ferrymen come asking for. Oh, okay, I get it. Crashing waves knocking at the door as the ferrymen come asking for an offering of coins on each eye, so that he may guide the souls on by. The last petal falls onto the floor as cold winds come brushing on by into our sense of death before life's renewal. Is it myself that I must fight, hidden away from others' sight, a battle taking place on my own? For such things, they say, should not be shown. If one must base things on skin and color, what becomes truth between one and the other? For whose words shall come to advise above those they consider unwise? If not based on the Bible, then what shall it be that you would claim and assert your morality? Is it based on society and the things it will preach into your mind for the brainwashing to reach? You ask pretty questions covered in poisoned lies, while claiming you're among the wise in truth. If you wish for less passion than ice I will give you, while allowing more frustration to come on through. No longer about belief, but the circus in which we'll play, a show to see who is the clown and who is the prey. Perhaps my caring has been too great for it to be perceived as stubbornness and hate. So, onto your wound, allow me to offer some oil, laced with salt, so try not to scream or recoil. Such violent clashes let the wind remove the ashes, and the twinkle of an eye when the light flashes. Such violent clashes let the wind remove the ashes, and the twinkle of an eye when the light flashes. Then let it not be spoken any more, lest like Pandora you go and open the door. Is it less like Pandora or least like Pandora? Hold on, now. I'm pretty sure that's right. Grammar Nazis will probably correct me if I had it right before, or if this is a more... Yeah, anyways. Is there any tolerance in the ones who claim it, while in chairs of hypocrisy they all sit, with self-righteous attitudes, thinking they're better than all? Well, the bigger the pride, the bigger the fall. Seat of the fool, seat of the blind, covered in darkness, led by lies, taking pride in diplomas signed. Seat of the fool, seat of the blind, claiming wisdom no one can find. From the books like the Lord of the Flies, seat of the fool, seat of the blind, covered in darkness, led by lies. Some call it education, while others indoctrination. Did you get what you wanted, or empty frustration? Taking pride in parts they claim they cannot see, for ignorance is bliss when you want sorrow to flee. An act of the mind with all I've compiled, from the biting to the mild, one page to another, then 1,000 more, and who shall it be that dares open the door? What fun is one when life is better with two, with all the adventures and things you could do, and although you could just shuffle along, is it really the place that we all belong? Who speaks with no actions comes out to dare, with robes robbed, left unconscious without care. Perhaps this lesson has made things clear. You are no hero for villains to fear. Roll the dice, give it all to chance, going through life with a gamble and dance, while courting luck to remain by your side, a fickle lady to take you for a ride. Dive into a world of imagination, dressed in dreams full of your elation, only to be brought back by the sound of a clock, forgetting everything in which you could talk. Storms came heralded in, the rage of waves that came to begin, with violent tempests growing near. Now tell me, child, what is it you fear? All these tales they like to tell, like lies on demand they come to sell, all to feed right to your desire. What care of you if you're deemed a liar? How does one become cold and calculated, to be admired by some and to others be hated, all due to the words you say, that they either agree or don't at the end of day? They held in their power a method for war, letting the world know what they had in store. And what would they do if they made them divide, to become part of a system when all had complied? They gave a clue in the games that they played, to make one wish they never had stayed, as they draw them in to entice them a little, and then before long all becomes brittle. What joy in this if others don't follow? To do it alone would feel rather hollow, for there's only so much one can do alone before the soul dwindles away down to the bone. The time ticks and the hours fade, no matter the place or moment you stayed. It all comes to pass through in the end, so be careful what you do with the life that you spend. Groups of 3 come out to play. Along the park they come each way, to play a game and win their prize, a game of strength and nothing wise. So it fell to the one who heard it before, who opened the gates and opened the door. Now all manner of things lurk inside, who act like a therapist for the man to confide. So much beauty across the sky, a glory that one cannot deny. Was it an accident made by chance, or was it done by a divine glance? We see them running in a hurry, and all around we begin to worry, for sometimes it's better not to ask. When it's time to run, that is our task. What ways of my own with the plans I made, that faded away and never have stayed, though I myself continue on, by the next day all is gone. Have I wasted away all to be done, though I started when all had begun? There are invisible battles I must fight, like time and essence remaining out of sight. All the things to bring skills I need, so I can level it all to be done with speed. Like my hands caught lightning while I write, to avoid a schedule coming in tight. It's no surprise my war with sleep, with no medals to earn or honor to keep. Only so much willpower before the body falls, for when it comes to rest, sleep comes and calls. Everything slows and fades to black, when all goes still when dreams attack. Best before then get into bed, before they take your body along with your head. So many styles, so many ways to put it all down wherever it stays. Never to chance where it's been placed. Past or the future when all is traced. Blink and you miss it, and my mind is gone. Never to wake until the next dawn. Fresh and renewed, yet groggy still, until the moon when energy will fill. Pox to our struggles as they laugh and taunt, who pretend to show off all that they want. Whether fake or real, who can really say? Yet with our minds they always will play. When all is urgent, we begin to fret, as anxiety comes in like a creeping threat. All while we try to remain at peace, yet stress comes in stress comes in as we beg for release. When all is urgent, we begin to fret, as anxiety comes in like a creeping threat. All while we try to remain at peace, yet stress comes in stress comes in as we beg. Yes, stress comes in when we beg for release. As we beg for release. As we beg for, I'll say, there we go. Yes, stress comes in as we beg for release. There we go. That was. I try to begin, yet I bite my tongue right before the moment's begun, and so I wait for another time to try. When the right timing finally comes on by. What I have done and what I have not will affect the ways things will be. Although when left away to let things rot, falling into the mire for people to see. What is fizz if not glitter for the tongue to feel, while others argue pop rocks are in fact the way for your mouth to go and glitter all day, as others look and question the appeal. All the ways we question not of the systems that start to rot, knowing that we've never fought all the evil we have caught. It looks the same, but then it's not, when it barks like a dog and rolls like a cat, such a strange creature they have got, upon the stages where fantasy sat. Colors of light across the sky, an explosion of delight while children may cry, along the festivities and water's end, where they light the fireworks to the sky they send. All the joys we once felt when troubles of life were not dealt in simpler times that we did live before the awakening that life did give. Buried in the darkness all across the land, bodies are there buried where people once did stand, and wars and battles and through the wars and battles they fought, the bargains they made as they got more than they sought. They come towards the offering table, placed precariously, never so stable, and when they placed it down for all, upon the others the table did fall. Sometimes we fight not to win, but allow all wars to begin, so more excuses to go on through, of the lies being told to you. Whatever I try is never the plan, all of which I'm not a fan, with my attention being torn in two, while I try and focus and carry through. Make an offer, sign the deal in blood, all for a sacrifice before the flood, as the ink begins to consume you with all the words that go on through you. What am I trying to prove with what has been, with all the ways from here to volume 15? Have I not already gone and shown all the styles I have made my own? For what reason have we to praise the beauty of earth in its mighty displays, wielded by the hands of the divine? What need have we for another reason or sign? Held into place a passionate fire that consumed its way through all its desire, before dwindling down with no reason to burn, for time had passed in its own turn. The sorrow of man, within the love that he lost, always leaves its scars. What is our path on the trails that we blaze? In a journey we go on for days. And at the end, what is it we find that makes us see no longer be blind? What truly is my driving desire for all that I wish to acquire? Should I care of what another may say when I make my sacrifice every day? So early my mind comes to taunt, asking me questions of what I want, towards a future that has not yet been, of all the desires I have to be seen. To you of the future, do you like what you see, of all the words so chaotic and free, not in form or style, but a difference in range? Has it become normal, or does it remain strange? I am an architect of my own design, plucked from the fruit held by the vine, to piece together the thoughts I can see, and in the essence of self I can truly be. Results of madness in doing the same, like it was all some twisted game, and so once over you do it again, like Sisyphus, where all is in vain. They claim with their mouth but deny with their heart a shallow friendship that grows ever apart. Was it truly there? When did it begin? When you opened that door and let them all in. Melody comes dancing with air, ultimately comes pleasing the ear, sought out by all those who would care, into their systems ever held dear, combined into a pleasant affair. Blink and you miss it, go read it again. All the signs written with parchment and pen. And when you know, move along, you'll find yourself where you belong. Some expect longer and others shorter still. For some a page and others something to fill. What matters more is the work that is done by those who are willing to have their own fun. There's something beautiful with patience and time to witness the world in all that's sublime, committed to memory that only you know, for such are things a picture can't show. I do not do what I do for the seats that I'll sit. If I had done so before, I'd surely have quit. And while the thought is nice to think, what I seek to show is what I've done with my ink. There is a world out there we will never know, whether up high or starting from below, for we are but one and cannot experience it all, no matter the place and no matter the call. There is a peace that must be made within, for what we consume is what we bring in, whether books or food or anything more. Be careful what you let come through your door. What is cut off and what is then shown, deep in the place when you sought the unknown, for the answer's held in the hand of a man, who helps those though they have no plan. All the promises gone and made by those who have gone and stayed. What is the value of friends like these? Surely they're priceless, the friends like these. Bold actions presented by those who would listen, of all the stories we long to talk, from all the ones who are happy to listen along the paths in which we walk. We tested the currents, we tested the way, we tested the parks where we did play, and all we learned when it came to an end is the value of time with the people we spend. There are things said that could not be but done along the paths where There are things said that could not be done along the paths where people would run, hidden aside for none to see, the mysteries around, forgotten and free. The value of time spent around those we all love is when we'll know peace. Well wishes of those who truly care, and all the burdens that they help to bear. Blessed are those who find such a friend, with whom your time you can truly spend. We knew the battles we would go to face, away from our home, in a new country and place. For the sake of our family and the sake that we love, we would descend on down from the airplanes above. If these are my limits, then there are limits to break, to claim our goal for a future to take, to go on stronger and faster than ever before, possessed by obsession to settle the score. What stories do bones hold in the graveyards we walk, of hidden history barely any would know, with even the age, with all they would talk, of memories known from all they would show. The sound of laughter in its vibrancy of life, in each in its season, as children too will then grow, while time continues to pass, and in death begins anew. Distractions come like a siren song, pulling you away and steering you wrong. Before too long the time is done, and what should have been was never begun. Stillness of the night, entering into the day, another cycle. We journeyed to our mountain top, when we reached the end to finally stop, to stare at the great beyond, of which the others traveled and are fond. Bring me to the vibrant green that has been sought but never seen, of emerald hues among the hidden, for that some would say is forbidden. Oh, the people will see and the people will meet along each journey right down our street, some vacant now gone ever still, with ghosts that haunt yet never kill. To ease the body, to get some rest, that some would say would be the best, if it helps the body with its health, and can be about a kind of wealth. Some say they could resist the siren song. Yeah, I need to fix that. Bloop. Some say they could risk the siren song while glued to their phones as they go along, for even I know I couldn't resist the song of those who have drawn and kissed. Doesn't matter where digital or physical ink for people to write all that they think, whether for good or whether for ill, the pages of each always will fill. My own crunch time with much to do, of things I promised to follow through, to myself so that I would not stumble, yet distractions come and I suddenly fumble. That which you seek is not always hidden, and that which you love is not always forbidden, but there is a moderation for all things, lest it falls with the destruction it brings. Lest it falls. Lest it falls. Yeah. There are things I thought to go and do. That life comes in and I can't follow through. But perhaps this too is a test to see how much I'll do and invest. The bridge troll desires no money, but instead a jar of honey. For a tooth that is so sweet, so begins his longing for a treat. There are many reasons a person will fight, whether for honor or to prove their own might. For each verbal to physical hits, each in their arena where each of them fits. What is an escape for people who flee from the places they long to be free, of oppression that hunts them all down, while they try to get out of their country and town? Values heard by those who listen to people. Is pleasure a kind of release that in the end brings its own peace, whether for a moment or a longer time that's spent? Questions of the mind with a muse at night, to all the stars they see in sight, some blinking out never to be seen, while others come in like they've always been. A peaceful moment along the cool grass as people go by along as they pass, while we watch the clouds go by as we take in the beauty of the sky. Oh, to be where the others are, who are never near but always far. When should we meet such joy as this, to always remember and never to miss? Time's passage along the hour, glass of sand. And that is going to be the end of volume 46. And we shall continue this with volumes 47 to 48. Until next time, bye.